Welcome back, fellow Resheads. I'm Danny Riggs, and you're on ResTube. And today we get to open two different boxes, something from Klanggalerie, and the first res release from a company named Grand Chess that I actually ordered here in Germany from a company called JPC. Now, we recently unboxed a release by Klanggalerie very related to this one, and so there's no real need to take a look at the background info for this. And here it is, the Wonder of Weird Demos 2. And I said we recently opened something from Klang related to this, being the first set of Wonder of Weird demos. Now there is some overlap between the tracks of the first and the second double CD. Both of the first CDs start with Jack the Boneless Boy, for instance, and so I'm really looking forward to see how the tracks progressed from the first demo version to the second one to the well-known live versions from the Wonder of Weird tour. As with the first double CD, this is also a double CD. And it, of course, is set around the whole theme of the Wonder of Weird with a strong Christmas feel to it. Whereas the first double CD set had 24 tracks, this one has a total of 20. They both feature that wonderful Wonder of Weird logo that I just love. And on the inside here, for one thing, you can find that logo again. And on the other side, you can see Santa Dog, "In Dog We Trust," instead of "In God We Trust," which can be found on American dollar bills. Really looking forward to listening into this one because my love for the res really started with the Wonder of Weird performances in the documentary Theory of Obscurity, and so that was basically the very first formation that I really fell in love with, especially Randy Rose. It's already been very nice to hear the demos from the first double CD, and so it should be quite a treat to see how this evolved before it actually got to the performance. Now, the second thing we do have to open today is something we haven't talked about at all yet here on ResTube, and so I think we should take a short trip over there to the fireplace. From the homepage of Grand Chess, the Residents released Duck Stab as a 7-inch 33 1/3 RPM EP in 1978. For the group, the relatively light-hearted EP represented a break from the much more experimental Eskimo recordings, which consumed the majority of a 4-year period from 1975 to 79. For Ralph Records, it was a much-needed revenue source at a time when the band was not producing much product. To everyone's surprise, the EP was a hit, selling 50,000 copies in a few months. The demand was so high that Ralph insisted the band record a second EP, Buster and Glenn, which they paired with Duck Stab to make an LP, which was also quite successful. Several years later, Night Flight, a program featuring alternative programming on the USA cable channel, aired Residents' video, including the Hello Skinny music video based on a song from the Duck Stab / Buster and Glenn album. The program aired from 1981 to 88, often highlighting the Residents to the extent that many of the group's fans cited Night Flight as their initial introduction to the band. Fast forward to 2016, when Night Flight resurrected itself as a streaming video service, Night Flight Plus. In recognition of their long-standing connection, Night Flight invited the Residents to create a program in celebration of the service's 40th anniversary on June 5th, 2021. Since the band was already rehearsing Duck Stab as part of their upcoming 50th anniversary tour, the 40-year-old EP/LP seemed like a perfect choice for Night Flight. With a professional camera crew led by director John Sanborn and director of photography Fraser Bradshaw, the residents performed the reworked Duck Stab Alive music over 3 days from May 19th to the 21st, 2021, at the 25th Street Studio in Oakland, California. The results, as you can hear and see on the discs of this limited box set, are spectacular. Grand Chess also announced the release of an ultra-limited edition of 40 hand-numbered copies that include a VHS tape. They write, "Yes, you are reading right, a hand-numbered VHS tape." The VHS contains the tracks from the video DVD and 2 additional Easter eggs from the Duck Stab Alive sessions as what they call analog NFT bootlegs. Okay, and so now that we know what we're dealing with, let's get into this. And here it is, the Residence Duck Stab Alive set. As I just mentioned, this is limited to 3,000, and I had to smirk when I opened this thanks to this little sticker here. Yeah, it's a sticker. That says FSK 6, which is the German rating system, as in this can be watched with kids that are 6 years old and older. Don't really know if I would do that, but hey, to each his own. And looking at the front of this, very cool design. And a glance at the back here. Gonna open this very carefully. Don't want to actually damage it, of course. And now that it's opened, I can tell that this is really just a sheet. With the same info that Grand Chess also has on its home page. I'll give you another look at the cover without the foil. And then here on the back, we have the track listings for both of the 10 inches that are in this set. Opening this up, there is a download code for this. Here we have the first disc, according track list. Here we have the second disc and its according track list. So we can take a quick look at the records themselves. I got out disc 2 now first, and here we have an inlet with the group in their eyeball suits and flashlight glasses. On the back here we have some zany eyeballs that to me also appear to be the same ones that the band actually had on their suits performing this for Night Flight. This is on regular black vinyl, and there we have a collage of the instruments used and the track list on the flip side. And for disc 1 we have a different inlet, another very cool picture of the band. And on the flip side, we have those same eyeballs, just in a bright green color. Here we have a classic Mr. Eyeball, and one of those, I'm going to say duck camera women, men, who knows really, who cares. And on the flip side of this, we have the track list for that 10 inch. And I've been looking forward to this last thing here the most. That is, in the bottom of this box there is an inlet made to hold the DVD of this project. Here we see Duck Stab Alive, Duck Stab Alive, and on the back of this we have the track list of the DVD. Opening this up, we have a booklet, and we have some red eyeballs. And I'm just going to guess that this was produced in Germany, because there on the DVD itself we have that rating again. So if you got yours in America, would you let me know in the comments, does yours also have this rating on it? Just being curious. So take a quick look at the DVD booklet. Here we have the credits. Not going to go through all of them. I will drop the name John Sanborn again because he directed this and because John is just an ultra cool guy, and I like to think back to the ultra cool interview that he gave us here on ResTube. So John, again, for that interview back then and for this especially, thanks a lot, man. It says here the executive producers were Karsten Hess and Guido Ranzio for Grand Chess Records, and a lot of people will remember Guido as the CEO, owner of Euroralph back in the day. Going through this, and we're not going to go page by page or anything. You should get this yourself. But I definitely want to take a look at one thing because all the way here at the back, it says, special thanks to MVD and Cherry Red Record for all their support, and dedicated to Hardy Fox, the original Sinister Exaggerator. It says right down there. And over here, we have a list of contributors, those being the fans that are in the back projections of the performance of Constantinople on this. And right there it says Jules and Danny Riggs. Gotta love it. Well, we've already seen Duckstab Alive on Night Flight Plus, but it's really, really nice to have this on DVD just to be able to watch it anytime. And I'm also looking forward to seeing if there may be a few hidden Easter eggs on this. With the res, you never know. It's definitely worth just trying to click around on everything. And it's also just very cool to have another audio and visual addition to the collection. The last DVD that came out was In Between Dreams, which is also extremely cool to have, especially for us, because that was the only concert that we've seen live up till now. But this will be a very, very cool addition. And so a big thank you goes out to everyone at Klanggalerie for this release. And a big thank you and shout out goes to everyone at Grand Chess for this release. And a big thank you to all of you guys that tuned in for this unboxing here on ResTube. Feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't already. You can share this clip. You can comment here. You can comment on Facebook in the fan groups. And until we see each other for the next episode of ResTube, you guys make sure to stay healthy and stay weird. Bye-bye, guys. I'm Danny Riggs, and you're on something. Oh, you scared the shit out of me, woman. Eskimo recordings. I can read, really. Most of the time. Ensenada, Ensenada, fifth boom. Oh, okay.